Elon Musk. You know the name, love him, hate him, you definitely can't ignore him. But behind all the headlines and the tweets, what's really going on? What's driving the guy who wants to save humanity by leaving the planet? In this explainer, we're not just going to look at his companies. We're going to try and dissect the blueprint of a mind that thinks on a planetary, even interplanetary scale. Let's dive in. So this is the big question, right? How does one person try to fix sustainable energy for Earth, while at the same time planning for us to live on Mars? I mean, to most of us, those sound like they're pulling in opposite directions. But for Musk, they're really just two sides of the same coin. And that coin is the long-term survival of the human species. To really understand this, frankly, this audacious vision, we have to go back, way back. The seeds for this architect of tomorrow were planted long before there were billions of dollars in giant rockets. And you can see the pattern right from the start. I mean, at age 12, he wasn't just playing video games, he was making and selling his own. Then at university, he gets degrees in physics and economics. Think about that combo. It's the perfect toolkit. Physics to figure out how the universe works, and economics to figure out how to build things in it. And then Stanford. He lasts all of 2 days in a PhD program before realizing, hey, the internet is happening right now. He knew the future wouldn't wait.
And that decision to just dive headfirst into the dot-com boom, yeah, it paid off, big time. So let's look at the first two ventures that basically gave him the cash to fund his even crazier ideas.
So first up was Zip2. You have to picture the mid-90s, right? The internet is just becoming a thing for regular people. While everyone else was just trying to figure out what a website even was, Musk and his brother saw a really simple problem. Businesses had no way to be found online. Zip2 was the answer, basically an online city guide for newspapers, a digital map for this new frontier. And wow, did that bet pay off? Compaq bought Zip2 for over $300 million. Suddenly, at 28 years old, Musk is a dot-com millionaire. Now, for most people, that's the finish line, right? Game over, you won. But for him, this was just the seed money. So what does he do? He takes all that money and immediately rolls it into his next, even more ambitious idea, X.com. And his goal here was to completely upend the entire banking industry. Eventually, the company merged with a competitor, and they decided to focus on this really cool, simple system for sending money through email. You probably heard of it. It became PayPal. So if Zip2 was a home run, this was a grand slam. In 2002, eBay buys PayPal for a staggering $1.5 billion. Musk's personal cut from that was over $180 million. Again, for pretty much anyone else on Earth, this is where the story ends. You ride off into the sunset. For Musk, this was really just the beginning. Okay, so you have a fortune. You could literally do anything. You could retire to a private island. Instead, he took every last penny of that capital and aimed it squarely at two of the biggest, most seemingly impossible problems you could imagine. And this is where the story gets really wild. He founded SpaceX in 2002 and then joined Tesla as chairman in 2004. And you have to understand, these were not just two separate companies. This was a single, unified strategy for the future of humanity. One company to help save our planet, and another to give us a backup. With SpaceX, the mission was crystal clear. Make going to space radically cheaper. And the key to that was reusable rockets, an idea that, at the time, a lot of experts thought was just a fantasy. Well, today, they've not only figured it out, they're the only private company in history to send astronauts to the International Space Station. And all of that is just a stepping stone to the real goal, a city on Mars. And then, at the same time, you have Tesla. The goal there was to prove that electric cars weren't just golf carts, that they could be better than gas cars in every way. Not just cleaner, but faster, safer, and honestly, just way more fun to drive. They basically kickstarted the entire EV revolution and have since expanded into solar panels and batteries, trying to build a whole ecosystem for sustainable energy. But here's the thing. When you bet everything you have on these incredible moonshots, or I guess in this case, Mars shots, you run a very, very real risk of losing it all. And the year 2008 was just brutal. The whole world was in the middle of a massive financial crisis, and it hit right when both Tesla and SpaceX were burning through cash like you wouldn't believe. This was the absolute lowest point. Both of these massive dreams were dying at the exact same time. At SpaceX, the first few rockets had literally blown up. At Tesla, they were bleeding money and just couldn't figure out how to build the cars fast enough. Musk had this impossible choice. Should he let one company die to save the other one, or should he risk losing both? he decided to go all in, pouring his entire personal fortune from PayPal into keeping them both alive. So, spoiler alert, they both survived. But how? How does a person handle that kind of insane existential pressure and come out the other side successful? Well, it seems to boil down to a very specific kind of mindset. So, what's the actual operating system here? It's kind of like a loop. First, you don't just solve any problem, you tackle the huge, world-changing ones. Second, you apply a work ethic that is, well, pretty extreme. Third, you have to embrace failure, not as the end, but just as data telling you what not to do next time. Fourth, you have to stay laser-focused on the long-term goal and just ignore all the short-term noise. And finally, you just constantly learn and iterate. You never stop improving. It's not just a list of traits, it's a whole process. And that process just keeps going. I mean, you've got OpenAI working on AI, Neuralink trying to literally connect our brains to computers, and The Boring Company trying to solve traffic by digging tunnels. The ambition just keeps getting bigger. So it leaves you with this question. It's not just what's next, it's how many more of these impossible problems can one person's mindset actually solve?